So today's day is dedicated to what I call customer success and through customer service. We're going to have two leaders in the industry that basically manage customer service in its various ways, shapes, and forms to talk about various aspects of um, basically customer service. And that can take many forms, right? It can take the form of, hey, just answering a phone call to answer a general question. It can relate to answering billing calls. It can relate to helping the customer through a technical challenge with the product, or even outside the product, depending on what your services are. I myself work for an app maker, and I focus on this area as part of my job, and I can't tell you how important how important this element of our service is. Right, we have a service that has really nothing to do with customer support on its surface, but without it, we would not have the data that drives the product, that drives our revenue, that drives in fact, mitigates retentions. It helps with reputation on all of these subjects across these two talks. And by the way, the other element that it really helps with is all of with respect to billing. If you're not answering the phone, if all you have is some kind of self way of canceling, you are probably experiencing more costs related to essentially billing than you should be. So again, we'll be covering some and all of these subjects over the next couple of talks. I love this subject. I could talk about it all day, but I won't today. The stage is Georgie's and Sean. So we'll start with Georgie from Anytech 365. And then after Georgie's done, we'll take a quick break, and we'll hear from Sean from Real Defense. And that's it for me. Georgie, you're up.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Can everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes.
Okay. So hello, everyone. Thanks for joining, and great to see an ever-growing audience for CleanApps events. Thank you, obviously, Bogdan and Lou, for the opportunity as always. Really appreciate it. Today, I would like to talk a little bit about Anytech 365 value proposition as being an important part of the supply chain, the entire customer journey. So I would like to present that to app makers, but also to non-app makers at the same time. So the topic is customer service strategies for brand building, reputation management, and revenue. So how can we add value to your customer's experience? How can we add value to your brand and reputation of your company? And doing that while building an additional revenue streams. So for the ones who hear the name for the first time, Anytech 365 is an independent Europe-based security help and support company focused on providing high-quality service with compliance and customer protection in mind. Okay, and we have been doing that so far 7 years of our lifetime. So basically, what is the sorry about that. Yeah. So yeah, our value proposition remains the same since day one, and is centered around our core belief in the value of human interaction. Okay, we do that 24/7. We do that in 20 languages in more than 25 markets globally. Okay, offering native speakers for increased customer satisfaction. We have additionally been working hard over the last year to kind of up our offering to our partners by adding some great technology on top of our service, such as the Anytech 365 IntelliGuard, which I will tell you more about it in a bit. Moreover, we have successfully addressed the emerging work from home needs of our customers, obviously over the last 12 months, both end users and small businesses, through a practical solution that we call the Anytech 365 Home Office. Okay, when it comes to compliance in QA, we have also tried to look into what we can do more about it, how we can guarantee better customer satisfaction, customer protection in this increasingly dangerous online world. So we thought we should implement some technology in our business processes when it comes to compliance to achieve faster, better and more reliable compliance and quality outcomes. Okay, so what you see here is our 2020 summarized customer service survey results across all geos or all markets, so to speak. The data that we have constantly collect shows us more or less the same thing every single time. No matter how technologically advanced our lives have become, the need for human interaction is more relevant than ever before. Okay. We looking into the data, as I mentioned, into our metrics. We do an average between 2,500 and 3,000 remote connections on daily basis with customers based all across the globe. And the trends we see point to this same conclusion, okay? Technological advancement has long ago outpaced the computer and device literacy of the general public. So this is where we can be very, very helpful. Okay.
Hey, Georgie, I got a quick question just on this
Sure.
because I
Fire
see
away.
the stats are great, which is
Right.
wonderful. So what do you attribute that you do to get those like that, which is maybe that's what you're going to be getting more into. But that's when I see this, I go, okay, so how are you getting that, 85 to 90% positive to 95% positive outcome?
Right, that's part of our, we do this actually monthly. We have this survey and also the NPS score, Net Promoter Score, which is what you call it, the industry standard. Well, our kind of recipe for these stats is just giving, paying attention to the customer, taking time with them, trying to really be helpful in any way, shape, or form we can. Trying to be there for them when they need us 24/7, 365 since Anytech 365, and obviously having with this growth that we've been able to accomplish, it's obviously crucial to be able to control the interactions to have compliance operation, which is a robust compliance operation. So I think those are the ways that we have been able to produce those results. Focus on the customers and what they need, and obviously deliver safe experience for them. Okay.
Hey, I have a quick question, Georgie.
Sure, Dennis.
Can you tell me how often a typical customer would call you in a year? Like how many times and how? And I mean,
Right.
What's the typical problem they're having?
Well, our average customer would call us between 3 and 5 times monthly. So that will be maybe 10 to 15 or a little bit more, around maybe 15 to 18 times a year. Their top 3 reasons for calling would be, obviously troubleshooting. Thanks Microsoft for that. We have been getting a lot of follow-up calls after each and every Windows update. Printer issues, and then obviously when unfortunately they become victims of phishing attempts or any other kind of fraud actually. So this would be, I think, the top reasons why would they call us.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah. I just move on here to the next one. So as I mentioned, we try to add on top of just obviously the human service. So to complement that, we have added some kind of technology into the basket. In 2019, we acquired a silicon-based company called Panorama 9. Okay, so it is basically their main product is a AI-backed threat prevention software. which is now under the name of Anytech 365 IntelliGuard, and allows for a proactive device and network monitoring and security. Threat prevention happens through deployed security policies, pretty much like the endpoint devices. However, the user may as well choose to alert one of our technicians directly via the app, should they prefer to do so. So direct access to that. It also has our secure remote control software built in, which has a really cool anti-scam feature that prevents unauthenticated remote access, obviously upon consent from the customer. So what it does actually is, we have our own kind of rep identification process, which we follow, and if this is how we kind of try to counter the risk of impersonators. So each and every agent can and has to follow this authentication procedure, which allows for a secure access and obviously mitigate the risk of scammers. Super proud of that, and it's working great so far. We have launched it in the US, for our US customers, I think a couple of days ago. So no, sorry, a couple of weeks ago. So it's really cool. So
Georgie,
yeah, go ahead.
We have a question. We have a question
Sure.
here, which is: do you provide mobile game support?
Well, we started a project which was based on one of our partnership with a leading gaming company in Denmark. So basically, yes, we have this package where a gamer would call us and ask for advice. They're very obviously specific niche, because they're computer literate, young kind of nerdy guys who have specific questions. So we usually deploy our most experienced technicians to help them. But we have also seen that their parents would call us as well, asking for among all things, asking for screen time restrictions and all that stuff. So it's been interesting, but yeah, we do that. We have that.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So apart from this network monitoring tool, we have also tried to adapt ourselves to the reality that we've been living in the last year or so. Obviously, I'm talking about the pandemic. We thought about, like, when it first hit us, we was about late February last year in Europe. We obviously, when everyone was kind of trying to see what's going to happen, and being more or less afraid of the mysterious future, so kind of unprepared. So we thought, should we do that, or should we actually try to see how we can use it, how we can turn this into a business opportunity? So this led to our home office offering, which you can see on the screen. It is a very interesting thing, package, I think is the right word. So it includes a mixture of around the clock service, obviously the human element, but also security software and hardware in the form of a secure router that encrypts network traffic for all our WFH customers worldwide. So we have seen that this has been the undisputed bestseller over the last 12 months. And we can also see that demand is growing on month-to-month basis. So, customers are at large being obviously without too much choice being made to work from home. So they really need security. Obviously, I don't need to tell you that the home network security lacks the adequate configuration of the one in the office. So this has been helpful for them, and we think it's a very practical solution. What else? Well, internally we have been thinking. I mentioned already. We've been thinking about how to even more protect the experience of our customer. So we went for a machine learning technology called Cedric that allows for faster, smarter, and more reliable compliance feedback. We have added that solution to our human compliance operation, allowing for the machine to do the tough work to actually analyze the calls 30 minutes within 30 minutes of their occurrence, all in each and every interaction we have with our customers, analyze and provide the feedback, enabling in the same time our compliance officers or QA people to focus on what matters more. For us, what matters more is training, coaching, building meaningful relationships between themselves and our reps on the floor. Okay, so by the way, Dennis, I'm looking forward to showing it to you very soon. It's a really cool thing.
So, so Georgie, how often do you train, or do you people train, like,
Right.
every day, every week? How often do you make sure your guys, whether they're already seasoned or not, or being looked at?
Right, we call it live coaching. So basically, we have our compliance guys on the floor providing either live help. So during the interaction with the customer, there is a really neat way to do it. It's called whispering in our dialing system. So you can provide either live coach or individual one-on-ones. We do that every single day. I think we do about 50 or 60 of those per month. Okay, and then on top of that, we obviously do calibration sessions, which are super useful. Like I said, we're growing a lot, so I would say maybe between 10 and 20 new starters every month we have, which who need our attention, who need our support, who need our our care. So we decided to leave the chores to the technology and use our compliance people focus on those relationships. This is how we say it.
Great.
Okay.
Yep.
So just to wrap up, by adding these technology elements to the value of human interaction, we believe that all app makers and non-app makers alike can strongly benefit from offering our services on top of their main proposition, leaving the service side to the experts, building a sustainable revenue stream in the meantime, and partnering with an established and one of the Europe's fastest growing companies that we are. So outside of the utility space, we have also established partnerships with consumer electronic chains, top tier AVs, MSPs, and by the way, soon a leading financial institution, which we are very happy about. So, the service that we offer, the whole value on top of the main proposition of our partners makes sense to any company that basically deals with customers, so to speak, and do their things online. So please do reach out if any of this sounds interesting to your organization. Okay, this was from me. If there is any questions from you.
We do have another question that was written here.
Sure.
I have a couple of things I want to talk about as well, but the question here is, how do you monitor the customer satisfaction? Like you show the stats in the front and the top. So do you do a monthly survey, or how do you monitor their satisfaction?
That's what we do. We do monthly surveys. We measure the NPS score, which is the Net Promoter Score per geo, and also for the company in as a whole. We do that, and we have a great response rate. I can tell you we have between 5,000 and 7,000 responses per month. So this is pretty good sample. Yeah.
Oh. Great. I just want to point out that these guys have Anytech 365 have been growing by leaps and bounds for all 7 years now. And so what they've been doing is very successful. And if you guys have any questions about how they've done that, please ask, because that's these guys are doing very well, and obviously they've been doing the right things. So anything that we can do to pass that on. So here's a question. Is the reason you offer the software to reduce the calls per customer, or does it make the calls more efficient and secure?
Yes, great question, Dennis. Let me answer quickly. So yes, if by the software, I imagine you refer to the IntelliGuard. Yes, proactive threat prevention. So yes, this is the purpose, to reduce our workload in support tier 2 and tier 3 levels of support. So yeah, that's absolutely the reason for.
And has it helped? I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, how many do you save? What, half your calls? Most of them? I mean, how has it benefited?
Yeah, so far we are 30% less load. So yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's really great, actually. So
Yeah,
works. We were not sure, but you know, it works. So that's great.
and I'll just take a second just to promote the fact that Anytech is certified through Aposteem, which is a really also a good thing for any of you guys that aren't connected. You know, you should find out about Aposteem, because what they do is really, I think it's done a ton to change the face of the internet, the safety of the internet, which is
I have a
the
I have a
idea.
question. Just one more question,
Sure.
Mhm.
if I may. So, do you provide do you capture the types of tickets that are created that are driving the calls, and what do you do to pass that along to your customers so they can improve their products or their services, or whatever it is that needs to be improved? Could be even just the marketing of it, right?
Yes, so yes, we do that. We as I say, we are focused on the metrics. We want to know what the issues are coming from our customers, and this tool, the IntelliGuard, is a great way to achieve that. You know, we have monthly and weekly usage reports which are available, and we know what kind of issues they are experiencing, and also when they reach out to us, we obviously capture that feedback as well, and we are providing that feedback to our partners on regular basis. We do that.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Cool. Anybody else have any questions? All right. Let's see. Oh, there was a question here in the chat. Let's see. Phil. This is from Phil. Do you do customer satisfaction on users who call but don't purchase the service? This is where we sometimes get user feedback, and wondering if you monitor and try and improve that experience. Did you get the question?
So yes, I just read the question. Phil, great question.
Cool.
So you know, we need to be cautious here with that. You know, GDPR comes to play. So unless the customer gave us their permission to kind of keep the lead and continue communicating with them after the non-conversion event. So yes, we do that. We do monitor now this machine learning software, Cedric, helping. You know, it has the capability to, like I said, basically cover each and every interaction, sale or a non-sale. So it is, of course, possible to gather the feedback on the non-sales and have it in a you know, meaningful format, which can tell us the you know, simply said, the reasons why this person was not convinced or thought they don't need that service. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
Great.
George. I think there are ways you can actually do this by having an IVR like after the call saying, hey, right on there, have them, ask for customer feedback. It's always, to me, your CSAT looks great. And there are two parts. I never doubt the customers who get this service love it. I mean, we see that. We work with you guys and they're really, really good on that. The few complaints, and we don't get a lot, but the few negative feedback things we get are more on that front end. People who might call but then not purchase. And it's never, it's not bad stuff. It's just a matter of, I'm wondering if there's a way to improve that experience because it would be good for all of us. So anyway.
Sounds really great. Yeah, I'm taking the note here. IVRs, good stuff. Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions? How do you see the AI function evolving in the future?
With regard to proactive operations, well,
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit of a technical question, which I would love to get back to you.
Right. Now, you mentioned earlier, you use Cedric that does a bunch of the AI stuff, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah.
We do that. So, yeah, I mean, we've been obviously, yeah, AI and machine learning. So, we are fortunate enough to have those people in the compliance department who actively, expand the database, expand the vocabulary of the algorithm, expand the, its capabilities. So of course, it becomes smarter with time, more adaptive, gives less false positives, and obviously more reliable in the process. So we actively contribute, our people actively contribute, because keep in mind, we are talking about 20 different languages here. Okay, so it's not easy, but we are on the way.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you, Georgie. Are there